What up, guys? Hankies, we are here today. We're gonna be playing a game, a very good game called Crave. And basically, this game is where there's a bunch of different caves, like very famous ones, like the Nutty Putty cave and stuff. And basically, you kind of cave dive in them, like how people do in real life. It's actually a really good game, but it also makes you really claustrophobic sometimes. So if you're claustrophobic, then yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do Nutty Putty Cave because it's the most famous, and that's where that person got stuck, which is because I just want to explore it, see how it happened.
Welcome, adventurer. I'm Brandon,
got dialogue,
and I'll be your voice guide through the Nutty Putty Cave. Alongside this narration, you'll find 10 audio tapes scattered throughout.
Okay, this game is also really realistic.
As you already know, Nutty Putty Cave is located west of Utah Lake in Utah County, United States. Despite its big reputation, the cave isn't actually that large. The total mapped length is about 1,355 to 1,400 feet, with a depth of roughly 145 feet. From this point, the cave splits into two routes. We can head left to enter the maze, or go right toward the famous Big Slide. For the full experience, I recommend starting on the left. Let's go there now.
Do I want to actually go to the left, though? Or do I want to go to the
Look at your watch. The percentage shows how much of the cave you've already explored. Remember, you can rewind or pause the audio guide at any time using the tablet or the menu, which opens by pressing and holding the right stick. Hold it now, and try adjusting the audio by touching the on-screen icons.
Nah, I'm good. I already know how to do this. I've played this game multiple times. I'm good. Okay. So this is what they call the slide, apparently. The Big Slide. Now, good question. Do I attach a belay? No, don't think I have to. Don't think it's really necessary.
Feel like sliding?
No.
You're not alone.
No.
At the height of its popularity, the cave drew more than 5,000 visitors a year. So much traffic wore the rocks smooth, and experts warned that a fatal accident was only a matter of time in one of its main features, a long 45-degree chamber known as the Big Slide, where we are right now. Those safety concerns, along with the growing damage caused by constant use, led to the cave's temporary closure in 2006. They're also the reason for the ladder you'll find at the end of this section. Be careful on your way down. You don't want to meet your end here, especially in a place meant for a very different kind of rebirth we'll soon discover.
Okay. Now that is scary. Here's the bit where we start cave diving. Where's the next right? Where's the next talking bit? Okay, another bit.
The corridor to the left leads to Ed's Push and the story of what happened there. The corridor to the right takes you to the threshold of one of the cave's most famous sections. Its name speaks for itself and has long been a magnet for many spelunkers who came here straight from the entrance. I believe there's little point in describing it further. This is something you'll simply have to experience. See you on the other side. We're approaching the site of John Jones' tragic accident. How did it happen? On November 24, 2009, John Edward Jones became trapped in Nutty Putty Cave after entering a tight, uncharted passage that he mistakenly believed was part of the well-known birth canal route. Instead, he had crawled into an unmapped fissure that was far narrower than expected. The passage sloped downward and constricted as it went, forcing him headfirst into a nearly vertical section where his body became wedged. Entering headfirst made it nearly impossible for him to reverse or maneuver once he was stuck. Despite more than 24 hours of effort, rescuers were unable to free him, as the combination of the cave's fragile geology, the limits of physics, and human endurance made extraction impossible. In the aftermath, authorities made the difficult decision to leave his body where it was and permanently seal the cave, rather than risk more lives in a recovery attempt.
That's not a good thing, I'm guessing. But in all fairness, I am cave diving, so I don't know what I expect. I've already explored 32% of the cave, so it's wrong in saying that it's actually... What? I'm stuck. Oh god. I was about to die. Okay, what was this the bit that had the right entrance? The right path? That was a depression, this is right path. The birth canal.
Even before Jones's death and the permanent closure of the cave, there were many cases of people getting lost here, with Boy Scouts being perhaps the most frequently rescued group over the years. Some veterans recall that the early explorations were much more wild, muddy, improvised, and with little preparation. In later years, rules, managed access, and safety protocols were introduced to prevent accidents and protect the cave from littering. Tired and panicked visitors had sometimes abandoned helmets, clothing, dead batteries, and other items, things that not only spoiled the sense of exploration, but in the dark, wet passages could cause dangerous accidents. The guiding rule in Nutty Putty was simple. Never squeeze into a place you might not be able to get back out of. Here, you can squeeze through anywhere. If you feel stuck, try moving your head in line with your hands to push forward or back out. We're now traveling through Vein Alley, another biologically named section of the cave. Names like this, as well as the aorta crawl and the birth canal, are not merely metaphors for the vein-like network of winding passages. They also reflect the cave's unique ecosystem, which hosts an endemic fauna. Various insects and bats have specifically adapted to survive in these dark, narrow chambers, making Nutty Putty not only a remarkable geologic formation, but also a site of considerable biological interest. The alley has several branches. If you want to achieve a 100% exploration rating of the cave, try to visit them all. The Vein Alley marks the end of the right route through the cave. So when you feel you've had enough, you can make your way back to the entrance.
Okay, so almost explored all. Weird cave this one is. Are there any more VHSs? More for each chest? Oh, I can slide, definitely. So, I've explored 56% of the cave. Yeah, this is actually a really cool video. Cave Crave is a really good game. I would recommend getting it. It's quite expensive. That was exploring the Nutty Putty Cave. We didn't explore all, but yeah.